Hey VC, Nolan here. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday. I've got the weekend off. I want to say thank you and hello and welcome to all of my new subscribers, all the people who have been commenting. I don't always have time to watch through some of your videos, but I really do. Sometimes I just get a chunk of time and I just plow through a bunch of videos. I think everybody knows what's up with that. You know, our lives are busy, and I just appreciate you taking the time out of your day to see what I have to say about music. I'm doing a new entry on my indie vinyl series. This is the second part of the S's. Hoping to get these done soon so I can move on to spotlight different sections in my record collection. I missed a record in the last video because it was in, I have a crate over here. It's like my now playing crate, and I pull stuff out of that for my What's On the Turntable series. I say series, I've only done one video, but anyway, this was stashed away so I missed it in the last one. This is The Seeing in the Cake, The Fawn. This is on Thrill Jockey Records. This is an original that I actually purchased. This is 1997, by the way. This is an original that I purchased weeks before the reissue was announced. But you know, whenever that happens, it's hard to get a fan out of shape about it because you still own an original copy. Nice kind of lounge electronica. I remember when the Postal Service came out, and you know, I liked the Postal Service album in high school, just like everybody in my high school did. But I'd always rip on it, saying that this first track, The Sporting Life, was kind of, and I don't know if the comparison holds up outside of my high school music snob mind, but I used to say that The Sporting Life was a better Postal Service song than the Postal Service could do. See in the Cake, The Fawn, 1997 Thrill Jockey. Missed it in my last video. Came in a Blake sleeve when I ordered it. I think I have like 2 Blake sleeves, and they're only because I ordered a record that had a Blake sleeve on them. So we left off at Sunny and the Sunsets, so it's SO. So next up is SP, which is a great band, Spoon. I have 3 Spoon records. I have their 2002 or 2001 release, Girls Can Tell. This is on Merge Records. Might be my favorite Spoon. Just kind of when they were first, Series of Sneaks was great. I think this is when they first came into the sound that they would be known for. Merge Records, great pressing, and fantastic. I love all the songs on this. I found this record, I discovered it after being introduced to them through Kill the Moonlight, which is their next record from 2002. I ended up liking Girls Can Tell better, but this was a big record for me when it came out. Kind of a more stripping down, focusing of their sound. Very soulful indie pop. Kill the Moonlight, 2002, Merge Records. Merge is a local to me label, even though they're huge. I saw the owner, Mac of Superchunk. He was at the Yo La Tengo show a few weeks ago. Spoon, Ga 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 Ga. I've shown this one. Great Spoon record. I don't have Gimme Fiction. I never got into that record. Kind of missed the boat on it, but I came back to them in a big way with this in 2007, and I blew this record up. A lot of fun. Great Spoon. Next 3 records, huge fan of this artist. I just think she's one of the best working musicians right now. Annie Clark, also known as Saint Vincent. This is her first record, Marry Me. This is 2007 Beggar's Banquet. Just excellent record. I bought this off of the strength. I went to high school and a little bit of college in Dallas, So we knew Annie Clark from the Polyphonic Spree. She released a 3-song CDR that had Paris is Burning, I think Now, both from this album, and also a cover of These Days, which is what really clicked with me. I was also doing a cover of that song at the same time. Bought it based off the strength of that CDR and was not let down. Very Talking Heads-esque, which, you know, is not surprising considering she later collaborated with David Byrne. It seems a little bit emotionally removed, and the songwriting is very clever and intricate. She's an excellent guitarist. That's what, you know, she kind of was known for around town. She was a fantastic guitarist and still is. Second record that she put out, this is on a different label. I believe this is 4AD. This is Actor. Gatefold. So you can see it's autographed. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to say this is 2009. Yeah, this is a 2009 release. If we look closely here, I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Dear Nolan, nice meeting you at Carburritos. Love, Annie Clark. I went to the burrito place down the street from the Cat's Cradle, the venue here, and she was there getting a burrito. And my girlfriend was there, you know, she was sitting across from me, and Annie Clark came walking towards us, and I awkwardly said, "Are you Annie Clark?" Like as if I can call her Annie Clark, this supremely talented, fantastic artist. Anyway, she said yeah, and so I wanted to take a picture of her and my girlfriend, so I took a picture of them together. Super nervous. I get starstruck really easy, and it was funny. I was visibly shaking, and my girlfriend and Annie Clark were laughing at me. However, it turned out well. It was a funny situation. We went and saw the show, which was on this tour. Amazing. Just such a well put together show. And afterwards, I bought the record, and she signed it like that. So that's kind of a fun little anecdote. Her next album was released 2011 on 4AD. This is Strange Mercy. Great cover. Love this cover. Gold embossed background. Another strong record. This one was a grower for me. This took a much longer time to get into than the other ones. And I think she's grown lyrically on this album. This pressing is on cream vinyl. And great guitar work, great synth work. The producer, I said that with a real country accent. The producer of these 3 records is John Congleton, and he worked on the St. Vincent David Byrne record. He's worked on some other things I can't remember, but his touch is very evident. He has quite a hand in how these records sound, and I think that they're a good team. This next record is by some friends of mine, the Sweet Ones. This is their album, Big Mistakes. They're called the Sweet Ones, we're called the Charming Youngsters, and as you can see, there's a bill with the Sweet Ones and the Charming Youngsters. Is how could you resist? So we've toured a lot together. Features Doug Cody, hugely influenced by punk rock and Jonathan Richman. Their drummer Matt is an animal, and their bassist Mike is, you know, holding it down. Doug is a character, but I love these dudes. They disappeared for a while and recorded this record. The pressing is not the greatest. It's on Crafty Records, who is a local Brooklyn label, and it peaks out kind of at some points, but basically they disappeared for a while, and I got a package one day with 3 copies of this record, which I dispersed amongst my band members. Total surprise. I mean, it's just a monster record. Especially this trio that you see here on the back. If you were to see how they played live, it's very in your face and intimate, but how big they made this record sound. I know you guys aren't going to know the Sweet Ones. If you do, you're doing all right. It's just good rock and roll, Adam, AJW Golf, AWJ Golf. What's in a username? Adam, I think you would be into this. Great record. Some of the downfalls of genre classification in your record collection. I've spoken about it before. Stereolab, this is a major label release, but in my head, it's indie rock. I've just talked about this recently. I won't spend too much time on it, but you know, electronica, krautrock, lounge, female vocals. If you don't know Stereolab, start here. This is a great record. This is an original issue, original US issue on Stereolab. Recently, Mike, Bostonian Reggie, showed the original issue with the green lemon lime colored vinyl, and it was pretty. But the next record is just beautifully packaged. The only record I own, I think I just got a record in the mail. This is the only record I own by this artist, Sufjan Stevens, The Age of Ads. It might even be pronounced not ads. It might be something weird. Either way, I liked his previous records. I like Seven Swans, I like Michigan and Illinois. I liked them all, but I was a little too cute. And that's for somebody who loves twee. And so it was just, you know, it was this twee Philip Glass sort of sounding stuff that I was into, but you know, all the songs kind of sounded the same. And this is weird. The songs still bear strong resemblance to his earlier material, but he kind of just doesn't give a fuck on this record, and I give him props for that. And it's beautifully packaged. This is Asthmatic Kitty 2010. I'll show you. Here's the inside of this record. This art is all by Prophet Royal Robertson, and I'm assuming I think it's folk artist. I hate that classification. You know, you say outsider art, you're calling somebody an outsider. But either way, fantastic pressing, fantastic record. The artwork on this is, this is sometimes a good reason you buy vinyl. I'm interested to see what he does next. You know, he can kind of go anywhere after this record. Also on Asthmatic Kitty, this record is, kept the sticker. Nope. The name of the artist is not MP3. The name of the artist is DM Stith. This is called Heavy Ghost. And this is Asthmatic Kitty 2008. Just another wonderful pressing. And this is somewhat similar in style to Sufjan Stevens, but also it's kind of very ornate in a grizzly bear sort of way. Some nice little illustrations here. Beautiful album. You know, recommend it if you like Sufjan Stevens and Grizzly Bear. It's kind of I feel a slept-on release from 2008, and just really clicked with me. Again, these next two records, they're not really indie, but they're indie in my head. In lieu of any Stone Roses, because I don't have any Stone Roses, I have this 12-inch single for Fool's Gold, which is a great song, and it's got this 9-minute and 53-second version of Fool's Gold. The B-side is the original version of Fool's Gold with What the World is Waiting For. Again, this is an electro release, so not super indie. The Sugar Cubes, Bjork's band. I don't pull this out too often, but I got it for $2 or $3 at a outdoor market. Some guy was moving to Hawaii and needed to get rid of his record collection. I got a few records from him, most notably for $3. I got a first pressing promo copy of Patti Smith's Horses. My girlfriend picked up. God bless her for it. So the next record is Summer Cats. This is a record Catherine, aka KJ, aka KJ. My girlfriend Catherine purchased this record, Summer Cats, Song for Tuesdays. This is 2009 Slumberland. Fun record. And for being such a fun record, it actually is has some meat to it. It looks like this. A lot of fun. I mentioned Mac and Merge Records earlier. This is maybe their first record, Super Chunk. No Pocky for Kitty. I believe this has been reissued as with all of their stuff. This is a original Matador from 1991, maybe? It's just a great recording. Steve Albini worked on this record. He's not credited for some reason, right? And I don't remember what that reason is, but he didn't want credit, or, you know, some kind of philosophy where he didn't believe producers should get credit, something like that. Last record of the S's. This is a appropriate last record. People have records that are 10s. This record is like a 20 for me. Just hit me at the right time when I was in high school. You know how those records can be. I had passed this record up countless times because I thought that the Swirlies, Strictly East Coast Flute Music, I believe is the title of this. No, Strictly East Coast Sneaky Flute Music. I had seen this vinyl a couple times and passed it up because this is a series of remixes from the Swirlies, their 2 prior albums. So the album that I really wanted, I just assumed it was not in print, and I don't know, I decided to order this on a whim one day, only to find out when I received it that it's a double LP featuring the album that I love, the Swirlies. They spent their wild youthful days in the glittering world of salons. This is a 1998 release. They're sort of infamous for, in the early days of the internet, there was an article about how it was the most underrated record of all time. It's shoegaze meets twee, you know, and I think that has to do with some of the appeal of the record for me. You know, I do tend to back away from music that gets too self-serious because I naturally, you know, have a self-effacing sense of humor, and so I like things that include that sense of humor in their music. And this absolutely does, but also takes itself seriously. And I like those two things in contrast to each other. It goofs off a little bit, but it's the humor in its music. It only makes the fact that they make some incredible sounds, it only makes that fact more incredible to me. Just excellent guitar. If you're a fan of guitars, you're a fan of shoegaze, you're a fan of, you know, noise pop in general, the Swirlies, Tang Records, 1998. I believe the record actually came out in 97, but this double LP, total fucking surprise of a record, came out a little bit later. I'm featured on a tribute to this band. I covered the song that's on this album, The Vehicle is Invisible. What was I doing when this record came out? I was in middle school. I was listening to Weezer and Metallica. You know, Weezer and Metallica. Humor and seriousness. Maybe that has something to do with it. And this is it for the S's and the indie, you guys. I love that we're ending it on this one. Check it out. Y'all take it easy.